wanted to say, first of all, this is not really one of those, this is what you need to do, or this is all the stuff you need to have just in case poop hits the fan type things. There's a bunch of people out there already doing that. What this is more of a, where are you going to go? I've got a family. I don't know about most of y'all, but my wife and my 3 kids, not really old enough to travel if something does wind up happening. Not saying that really if, but when something winds up happening. I've got the 380, I've got the 45, I've got the 40, the 223s, the 22s, the shotguns, all the ammo, sleeping bags, knives, magazines, everything I could possibly need. But here's the thing for us. I live on 115 acres of land. It's family land. Been for generations and generations. We know the land is fertile because we grow stuff on the land every year. Whether it's corn, whether it's okra, peas, doesn't matter. We grow it. Surprisingly enough, here out in the country, we don't live on something called city water, city sewage. We have things called wells. Matter of fact, on the land there's 3 wells and 2 ponds. Where are you going to go if you bug out? I understand getting out of a situation if you're in the city. You've got gangs to deal with and all these people who are just going to go absolutely ape crap over nothing. Nothing. What are they going to be? Be without power. People did it for hundreds of years. People survived for hundreds of years without power. What skills do you have is going to be the main factor. What can you provide in order to provide for not only yourself but your family if you have one? Take up a hobby. Come on, guys. Hobbies are not that expensive unless you get into the really expensive hobbies. Me, myself, I actually do sterling silver and gold jewelry. But that's my most expensive hobby. Other than that, I know how to make shoes. I can sew. I can cook. I can go hunting. I can fix cars. May not be worth a damn then, but it's something. There's not a lot of people nowadays who know how to do something in order to get by. Blacksmithing. Just simple trades that you can pick up from a local group. As a matter of fact, here in the area, there's blacksmith guilds, there's gunsmith guilds, there's gemologists. Computers are most likely not going to be worth a dang. They've got parts in them that you can use. Trust me, there's some microchips that look pretty. I've even seen people make necklaces and rings out of them. But it's something worth trading. Any type of skill. Been in the military for 10 years, off and on, not constantly, hopefully, thankfully. But there's a lot of things there again that people don't understand about bugging out. You bug out, you have to have a place to go. Regardless, you leave your house, you leave your home, you leave everything in it, but a bag. Okay, you're carrying water, you're carrying food, you're carrying some clothes. Eventually, you're going to run out of all of those. You're going to need to find a place that's got the stuff that you need. And along the way is where you're going to find them. You're talking about a person living in the city taking absolutely the only necessities that they can carry with them. Even if it's a family of 2, a guy and his wife, or whichever way you want to go that, but a pistol apiece, a rifle apiece, maybe a shotgun. Have you seen some of these things that people are talking about carrying? A rifle that packs up into the buttstock. Little 22. Not going to mention any names or whatever, but if you know a good gunsmith, or even don't know a good gunsmith, read the reviews on these rifles. Some of them are not worth the metal that they're made out of. A good standard, everyday, put together, non-breakdown, unless it's a shotgun that comes apart, or an M16, AR-15, whatever you want to call them, still the same thing. The .223 rifle. Even though a lot of people prefer the AK-47 over that because the .223 has a tendency to, oh, I don't know, jam, not work when you need it to. But that's not the point. The point is, find some place to go before you need to. Check with your local community. Talk to your neighbors. Figure out, hey guys, we're a group of friends. If something does happen, where are we going to go? Have we got a place that's willing to take us in? Have we got stops planned along the route? You know, how many miles a day can we travel on foot or bicycle or whatever you're planning on doing? A lot of people don't take this into consideration. Where I'm at, I've actually got a select group of people who I know and I trust, who know that when something does happen, hey, we're here. But we're also a community. Community takes care of itself, takes care of each other, and really doesn't need to rely on outside help. When I mean outside help, I mean someone coming up to you and going, hey, your roof looks like it needs to be repaired. I'll do it for such and such amount of money. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell them, sorry, you can go on. Because I know how to get up on a roof and put shingles on myself. It's not that hard. Look at it, figure it out. All you've got is a bunch of guys sitting there with their M16s, AK-47s, LBEs, load-bearing equipment, in a situation set out pretty much exactly like this, with their ammo on their side and their guns laid out before them, and knives and backpacks and sleeping bags and magazines, whatever. Great, good. You're prepared for you, but you're not prepared for other people. You don't understand what it means to take a life. If you've ever talked to somebody who shot somebody before, trust me, they're going to tell you you never want to find out. You never want to find out. If you're not prepared to pull the trigger, don't threaten. First of all, you never know if that other person's willing to pull the trigger or not. Second, as I was saying before, have a place to go, a rally point, a meetup site. Hey guys, if this does happen, we're going to meet at so-and-so's house and go from so-and-so's house to here. Because at that place, there's water, there's readily available food, medical supplies, so on and so forth. Of course, you're going to bring your own stuff, but why not have this stuff set up already? I personally, I can't go anywhere. Because I have 3 children that aren't willing. Well, not necessarily willing. I can make them if they wanted to, but I got an 8-year-old, got a 2-year-old, and at this time, 11-month-old. How are my wife and I going to take these 3 children and go from here to wherever? Well, unless there's vehicles available, that's really not an option. I'm not going to strap a 12-pound rucksack to my 2-year-old's back. Not going to happen. Contrary to popular belief, there still are things called septic tanks, which we have here, and we're lucky for that. We live out in the country. We won't have to worry about our sewage backing up into our house. We don't really need to rely on city water. We have a well. I also have a windmill. Pretty much ready to go. But because of also where we live, there's deer. There's rabbits, pheasant, anything we could possibly need. Trust me, there's enough cats around here if needs be. Guess what? We'll be having cat. Anyway, don't leave without a plan. If you don't have a plan, you're a sitting duck. You may as well just stay at home and wait it out. You find all these people who are talking about, well, we got this at home, we got this, and I got cans of food and cans of water. And, great. You don't need to advertise. Advertising stuff like that, someone somewhere is going to tell someone else, and that someone's going to find out where you live. And when stuff does happen, guess whose house they're going to visit? Yours. Other than that, rely on your friends, the ones you trust, and your family. Your community should include your family and your friends. Have a plan. Don't start just by going, hey, I gotta have all this stuff, I gotta have all this stuff, I gotta have all this stuff. Talk to your significant others. Talk to your family. If your family lives out of town, hey, are we gonna meet here? You know, if this does happen, where are we gonna go? What's gonna happen? Don't just grab your stuff and walk out the door. Make sure that you have a place to go. I can't stress that enough. And like I said, I'm not going anywhere. I can't afford to. All my family is literally surrounding me, and that's my community. I'm going to have some friends that will be up here at some point in time, but I trust them enough that they'll earn their keep. It's a hospitality thing. You know, you're living in my house, you're living under my rules, you're living with water and things that you need to survive. You're going to work for it. They understand that, and they're willing to do that. If they're not willing to do that, then they can go somewhere else. Having all this stuff is great, but this is stuff I use every day, not just something I had to go buy. You know, I've got personal defense, I've got home defense, I've got hunting, and everywhere in between. I'm a custom knife maker. I make my own knives. I don't need to go spend $200, $300, $400, $500 on a knife. Whereas pistols, on the other hand, you know, I know how to fix them. Making one, not so much. The ABS plastic handles, they're okay. They're light. What's going to happen when you drop one later on? Got some super glue handy. 1911s. They're great. They're nifty. They're full frames, all metal, most of them, especially the older ones. Parts are readily available, ammo is readily available. One difference, I can reload, and I have the equipment to reload. Powder, primers, bullets, books, which is another thing. You're going to leave your house without books. That's education. Later on in life, you're going to have kids. Without books, there's no education. There's no way to teach a kid something that you don't know. Think about these things next time you plan on leaving your house and bugging out. You know, get a plan together. Get a place to go.